Well, let's go over to fresh air and recycle a little more. So here's a filter. I cleaned it out. You can actually see some sun through it now, but in that upper half of the system where you see kind of a dark shadow, you could not see through there before. I used a air blower and I blew it out pretty good. Still dirty, but enough where we get some airflow. I'm doing this one for a body shop, and I just decided to do the rest of this and show you guys a little bit more about airflow. So here's your inside cabin filter, and on this one it's pretty easy because these are the easier glove boxes where you just flex the plastic a little bit. See how you can flex the plastic and how it moves? So it goes in like that. On this one, you just flex it in and you bring it back out like that. And then this is where the filter goes, like that. There, you have filter. Grab the end peg, pull it out a little bit. The other one over here, like that, and you pull it out. Pull it down in there. You can see the fresh air door up here, and you can see my controls. Let's see, recycle. So you can see that right there, that the door, I can stick my finger down here, because right now it's sucking the air in from in the car in the recycle mode and going through the filter, through the blower, and then it gets fed into the evaporator case, the heat case, because this is where the heater and evaporator are. So let me turn it over to, I'll turn it over to fresh air so you can watch that move. Okay, 1, 2, fresh air. See that? See that? This is a mechanical one. See this little lever right here? This right here? It's connected mechanically. It's not vacuum and it's not electrical. So that's how that works. Okay, so there's fresh air mode. And then if we come back here, I'm gonna grab my flashlight. The fresh air comes in through this grill right here. You see the grill right here? That's where the fresh air comes in, through this plastic piece underneath here. And I took out this cover right here so you can see back in here. Okay, you see the metal where it's painted, it has the gold orange color, but you see the black back there? That's going up underneath your dash. So right here, where you see my flashlight dropping in, is where the fresh air enters. And we come back over here, and up inside is where you can see the fresh. So let's see if I could stick my flashlight and you can see it from the other side. So I'm going to see if I could stick my flashlight up in here without dropping it in to the fan. There's a little flapper up there. I don't know if I could do this. I better turn off the fan because I could see something happening bad here. Let's see. There, I turned off the fan. So if my flashlight drops into the fan blade, we don't get a bad noise. All right, so now I have the flashlight stuck up in there, and we should be able to see the flashlight. You see the flashlight right there? That's where the air gets sucked down. And there's like a little rubber flapper inside there just to stop the air. So when it's sucking, the flapper opens up. And when the blower is off, the flapper drops down. Okay, so let me grab the flashlight back. And there, now we have the flashlight. Now I'm gonna stick my filter back inside. There, now the customer has a fairly clean filter, better than it was before. This customer will get air conditioning delivered back to them with the full amount of airflow to give them the best air cooling they possibly could have without changing the filter. Here again, I'm just seeing what my gauges could do. I don't have it screwed in You see they're up right now. They're not turned in right now. See that gap right there? So this is what, with the vacuum pump on the gauge set manifold, with the micron meter sensor is located in the manifold, I'm capable of pulling down near to 100 right now. The reason it can't go any lower, because of contamination inside the refrigerant hoses. There's refrigerant sucked into the rubber lining, and a little bit of PAG oil or ester oil that's in here is absorbed onto the lining. It has contaminants, it's outgassing, and it will not allow it to go down rapidly. Now if I left it on there a few more hours, it would go down lower as it dried out the internals of the hoses. And this is why refrigerant manifolds and hoses should not be used for trying to achieve a deep vacuum in the first place. So with that said, let's now attach to the system. And so you'll see here, where are we at? Right there. You're going to see me screw it down into the system. Now I'm down, and as you can see, it jumped up to 940 microns. I'll attach this one right here. And we're at 1,000 because I'm attaching. And it's just, as you've seen, you don't even have to go all the way. As soon as you see that you get in and you see the numbers change up here, you know you're in the system. But you don't crank on it. Even if you do bottom out, and you shouldn't bottom out, best practices is not to bottom out all the way. You can do it, but if you're going to do it, you do it lightly. See how I do just one finger, and it with no force at all. If it stops, it stops. I stop right there. I don't crank it, because some of them might stop at their limit. That might be almost all the way down. You'll feel it tight, and some guy goes, oh my god, it's not down all the way, I got to go north, so let me force it. You can actually damage the valve inside if you force it to go open. So you notice my finger just does this, and in this case it just happens to go down all the way. Now compared to 1/4 inch that's on residential and commercial refrigeration, that little tiny valve core, when it depresses down, there's barely any opening. But as I showed you before in other videos, this valve core is huge. It has like 10 times the flow compared to a regular residential or commercial air conditioning 1/4 inch little valve. So the flow is massive. Okay, so you can see it's here, slowly going down. This is the old system. As far as I know, this condenser was, I think, the original from the first accident back in 2017 when I did the air conditioning on this, because it was in a body shop accident. It was an accident again. This is 2021. So this condenser has been removed twice. Unfortunately, a little exposure to the atmosphere, gets a little moisture in there, and so I'm having a hard time getting down below 1,000 microns right away because of that. Let's get that off there, and let me get onto, this comes from the evaporator, so this is my suction line. And let's get, am I backwards? Yes I am. Let's get that off of there because that goes on the liquid line. Let's get this on to the evaporator so we can take our superheat. And let's get to the condenser because I could get as close as I can. See right here? Let's see. Right out of the condenser. Boom. Now I could take my most accurate temperature I possibly can because I'm coming out of the condenser. And I'll take another video when I fill it up. Oh, let's see if I could show you a little more on these controls over here. So let's get in here. You see the controls over here? Let's turn it back on so you know the fresh air. See the fresh air? Okay, so we got the fresh. Now let's turn it on again. I got it in fresh air mode. See that? See this valve here? Feet and defrost only. So I'm going to go through all those levels. So here we are on face. So watch the valving right there. This is what changes your door flap positions. So there's face and feet. Now I'm going to go to feet only. That's feet only. Then I'm going to go to defrost and feet. And that's defrost and feet. So that means it's coming only on the window and only down at the feet. And now here's defrost only. There. Now it moved the inner door flaps. So all the air comes out at the windshield and a little right here, because if you aim these like this, the air comes sideways, it hits the side of your window, so it could defrost where your side mirror. So you know how you usually have your side mirror located right here, and if the inside is all fogged up, you could get this hot dry air and you could aim it so it comes out like this and it strikes the inside of your passenger mirror right here, and it'll defrost, it'll make it clear right here so you can see your mirror, so you can judge. So that's the defrost. Alright, so we'll put this back. Now we're at the face again, because I do all my tests while they're at the face. I make sure they're wide open. Look down inside. You don't want it to the left, you don't want it to the right. You want it right in the center, and you want to position it so the air comes straight out, so there's no restriction. Because if you have them all the way to the left, or all the way to the right, or all the way like down like this, or all the way up like that, you're actually not centered, and you actually restrict the airflow, and you can hear the difference. So I'm going to get it so they're centered, so I know the highest flow and the least static pressure is being developed in my case, reducing my airflow. And I got those centered, so now I can properly perform my test. Because if you have a dirty air filter, or any of your vents are closed, or they're all off to the left or right, you get false readings. So let's go off to the next video when I'm filling it up, and we'll go there. All right, I'll see you guys next video.